So, good, that's nice. So, we are back again to the Bhagavad Gita study circle. There was some issue with the audio earlier, so please ignore the previous thing. So, welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita study circle. We are in 170th session and we are discussing a very interesting chapter number 17. And we are discussing some very important aspects of Ahara Yagna Dana Tapa. So these are some nice concepts that Krishna is sharing with all of us. So, okay, let us ask. Divik, am I audible
Har-
now?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, good, very nice. So there was some problem earlier. Okay, nice. Nice to see all of you again back for the Bhagavad Gita study cycle. There was some technical glitch earlier, but now I think we are all set and ready to dive into the topic today. It's very nice. So, but before we begin, let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and my beloved spiritual master. So, kindly join your palms and chant along with me the pranam mantras. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita study circle once again. So we have Dev, we have Divik, we have Hina Mataji with us. We also have Lakshmi Mataji and Vinodji joining us on YouTube. Thank you so much. And all those who are listening on YouTube, you can all say Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining today. So in the previous verses, we had discussed that how Krishna had explained about Anudvega Karam Vakyam Satyam Priyam Hitam Jayat Swadhyaya Bhyasanam Jaiva Vanmayam Tapa Uchyate. How we need to have the austerity of speech, right? Austerity of speech. We have discussed that in detail. Then we also understood about the different aspects of tapas, right? What are the different types of tapas? We have also understood the tapas of the mind, manaprasada saumyatvam, maunam atma vinigraha, maunam atma vinigraha, bhava samshuddhir. These are all the tapas of the mind. Very, very important for all the sadhakas. Then we also understood in detail about the different types of tapas. Shraddhaya, paraya, taptam, tapas tatrividam, narai. Right? So there are tapas which is in the mode of sattva guna, tapas in the mode of rajoguna, and tapas in the mode of tamoguna. Until verse number 19, we had discussed Muda Grahinatmano Yat Pidaya Kriyate Tapaha Parasyotsadhanartham Va Tat Tamasam Udharatam. So they give a lot of torture to their body, right? And then they want to do this tapas. So today we will continue from where we had stopped. So verse number 20, Dev, you can unmute yourself and let's chant verse number 20. Now, Krishna is diving into a new topic. Now, we all know that in the previous verses, that how in this particular chapter, when you remember chapter 17 means there are four important aspects described or discussed in this particular chapter. What is that? That is Ahara, Dana, Yagna, Tapa. Ahara, Dana, Yagna, Tapa. Food, charity, austerity, and what? Tapaha, austerity, and yagna, sacrifice. These things are discussed in chapter 7. Chapter 17, immediately you should remember. So Krishna has covered about ahara, he has covered about yagna, he has covered about tapas, right? Now he is going to discuss about dana, charity, very important. Okay, so Dev, let us chant this. दातव्यम् इति यद्दानम्
दात दातव्यम् इति यद्दानं
दीयतेनुपकारिणे
दीयते नुपकारिणे
देशे काले च पात्रे च
देशे काले च पात्रे च
तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Okay, wonderful. Please read the translation.
Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful, very nice. What Krishna is saying here, charity in the mode of goodness, sattvic charity. See, we never thought about all these things, right? Charity means charity. Many people think we have to give. But now Krishna is talking about charity also. There are categories, there are different ways of doing charity. And here Krishna is explaining charity in the mode of Sattva. What is that? A person who is sattvic or doing sattvic charity, he does it as per Deshe Kale Patrecha. The right time, the right place, and to the right worthy person, he will do the charity. Very important. The most important, diyate upakarine. He is not expecting any upakara in return. He is just doing it as a matter of duty. Datavyam means to give. To give to a worthy person is very, very important. Now, this is what we need to understand now. Charity, many people talk about charity. There are charitable institutions which are running on charity. There are so many people, big philanthropists who are doing a lot of charity. Right? We need to understand now what is this charity? Charity, giving without any expectation, knowing that very well this person cannot give me back anything in return. But still, I want to give datavyam. That is in the mode of goodness. He gives charity based on the right place, time, circumstances, and to the right person. This is sattvic. Now, the question is, why should we give? Right? Why should we give? Why should we do charity? In spiritual life, giving charity is very integral aspect of spirituality. Giving charity is very important. Now, why it is important? Giving is important, but what happens if we don't give? That is also very important to understand. Okay, Prabhu, you are asking us to give, we will give. But if we don't give, then what? Many people may ask this question also, no? What happens if we don't give charity? Right? This has to be understood. See, generally, when we get something, when we accumulate something, we want to hoard it for ourselves. Right? The tendency of selfishness is there in most of us. Why that tendency is there to hoard the items or not to give anything to anyone? The selfishness is there because we have faith. We have developed a certain faith. That faith comes into picture. Now, what is faith and how do we develop faith? We have discussed earlier also, right? What is that faith? How do we develop? Based on our experiences, we analyze our experiences, and based on that analysis, we develop faith in certain thing, right? Now, when it comes to selfishness, that selfishness is also because we have some backup faith. What is that created faith? That we know that I need some things in life. There are a lot of needs in our life, right? We have a need of a TV, fridge, car, bungalow, so many things, car, jewelry, clothes, food. I have a lot of needs in my life, correct? And all these needs in my life can be fulfilled when I have wealth. So, my needs are getting fulfilled because of wealth. Now, wealth gains a lot of importance in our life. So, we start valuing money so much so that we want to hold it. We don't want to give it. We are selfish because it is going to fulfill my needs. Wealth is something that is going to fulfill my needs. So how can I give it? I cannot give it, right? So our idea is what? Most people have the idea that I need to earn more and more and spend less and less, right? This is the general tendency that I want to earn more, but I want to spend less so that I can have more and more money so that I can enjoy. See the root cause? How this is all working very subtly in our minds? So now he doesn't have value for giving. Why? Because his value is in money and money is fulfilling his needs. So why will he give something? Correct? Most materialistic people, they don't want to give because they are selfish. Now, what happens if we become selfish? When we become selfish, then we create a psychological wall in our mind. That mind, which has this psychological wall, it separates me from the rest of the world. Because I'm thinking that it's everything in this world is for my pleasure. It is all because of me. I want to enjoy, and I create a psychological wall which separates me from everybody in the world. Correct? And when what happens if we build this kind of psychological wall, then we will start living in a prison. You know, a person who is staying in a prison, what is his life? Will he be free? Will he be really happy? Will he experience any freedom? So this is our problem also. Most people, what is happening is because of this psychological wall, they experience this bondage because they're living in a prison in their own mind. And when they start living in such kind of a psychological prison, it starts suffocating. They start suffocating. So such a person who is separated from the world because of this psychological wall that is created by becoming selfish, he starts experiencing loneliness. Correct? Because you are not able to connect with anyone. Because you are so selfish that you are not able to give anything. So ultimately, the result is what? You are feeling lonely. Now, loneliness is very, 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 very suffocating. Please understand, it's very difficult. There is no one to ask, how am I? What did I eat today? Oh, did you go and enjoy there? Did you sleep properly? There is no one to care. I have so much money. So much is there. But then there is no one to actually understand my emotions and feelings. Now, there is no one to ask about my welfare. So, what is happening is it is very painful for such a person. Correct? And who has created this situation? He himself. No one else has created. Just by becoming selfish, by giving more value to money, by not giving anything to anyone, ultimate result is what? The psychological wall is created which separates him from people. Right? Even we don't like selfish people. We don't want to associate with selfish people, right? When there is someone so selfish, we don't want to associate. So when people can sense that such a person is selfish, they don't want to associate. So ultimately, what is happening? Loneliness. You become lonely. Now, how do we escape this loneliness? I want to escape this loneliness now. I have everything. But there is no one to ask me about my welfare. So I want to escape this loneliness. So majority of the people, for them, the solution for loneliness now is they want to get married. Right? Most of the people, they want to marry because they feel lonely somewhere. They want someone with whom they can share their emotions. They want to share that, yes, I have done this, I have done that. People want to share. Many people may talk that, oh, I got married because of this reason. But deep within, if we analyze, somewhere they were feeling loneliness. They wanted someone where they could express their emotions properly, right? So for most of the people, then what happens is they try to break this psychological wall by getting married, correct? Then the person feels that yes, now I have someone to share everything, something that I can share. I have someone now, right? So what happens then when there is marriage? Then there are children. When there are children, there is, oh, there are so many people around me now that loneliness is gone. So there is a joy of expansion. See, there is a joy now that is coming because of expansion of the family, right? Then what is happening because of that expansion? There is relief from loneliness. I have got relief from loneliness. But what is the price that we have to pay for this relief? That is what is important. You were lonely, then you got married, then children, then there is a joy of expansion, then you got relief from loneliness. Now, what is the price that I need to pay to get this relief? Is a big question. And that price is sacrifice. That price is dhanam. That is charity. I have to give so that I get relief from loneliness. Getting all that I need to do is I need to give so that I experience the joy of expansion. Now, that need not be money. It can be time, it can be money, it can be your just being empathetic and listening to someone, right? So, giving your time, energy, money is all giving, sacrificing. You're sacrificing money, you're sacrificing everything. Why? Because you want to experience the relief from loneliness, right? Now, if a family has to remain intact, sacrifice is important. Is there any family without sacrifice? You all, each one of us, in our own families, we sacrifice every day, right? If there is no sacrifice, then the family will disintegrate. Without sacrifice, a family will disintegrate. If a family has to be intact, then there are sacrifices that has to be done. Without sacrifice, without giving your time, energy, and money, you cannot keep a family intact. Getting the point? You just imagine a family where a husband is a drunkard, not contribute anything, right? What a big problem it is. And looking at that drunkard, the wife also in the family, she doesn't work. She's not doing anything that she's supposed to do, right? She has to take care of the children, take care of the cooking, and so many other household things. A wife is supposed to do that, but then she's not able to do. She's not doing, she's not ready to sacrifice. He is not ready to sacrifice. Then what happens? Even though you are in a family, without sacrifice, that family will disintegrate, and in the family, you will start experiencing loneliness. The same problem. So, what is the thing now? Getting the point? Even in a family, if you want to really enjoy, then you have to sacrifice. Otherwise, there is a sense of loneliness there also without sacrifice. Getting the point? How important it is to give dhanam, how charity really helps us to break this psychological wall. And then it's not just limited to the family. Some people want to expand it even more to a community, right? So many people come to the temple, they want to do seva. One of the reasons is somewhere they are feeling so lonely where they are not able to express. Then they'll come to the temple, then they want to pour out, oh Prabhuji, this is going in my life, that is going on in my life. I want to do this charity, that charity. I want to give something back. Why? Because deep within you are feeling lonely. You have that need to be understood. So that's why they want to expand it, going to the community. If not, I want to go to the nation, right? I want to work at the level, at the nation. The bigger the joy of expansion, the bigger the sacrifice required. You see all the soldiers, they're working for the nation. Why? Oh, they've expanded so much. That joy of expansion is so much. It's gone to the level of nation. But what is it demanding? It is demanding the sacrifice of their own lives. Correct? So, this is how each one of us, only when you give, you will remain happy. When you don't give, you will ultimately create a psychological wall which will bind you within and you will start feeling lonely. So, charity has a lot of psychological effect on us. Please understand, right? That's why our Sanatan Dharma, what do we talk about? We talk about Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The whole world, the whole universe is one Kutumba. We all want to stay together, but that staying together happens only when we do sacrifice. Right? We all stay together, integrated, only when we do sacrifice. Each one of us in our own capacity, when we sacrifice, that is when we can experience Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Right? You're getting the point. So, actually, Vasudeva Kutumbakam takes away all the suffocation in our life. It takes away all the loneliness in our life. If we can develop that mentality of giving and not hoarding, right? And the ultimate joy of expansion comes when we are in association with Krishna. There is no more loneliness because that Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is always within our heart. If we are able to connect with Him, then there is no question of loneliness. But to reach to that level, to experience Krishna within our heart, we need to do yagna, dana, tapa. By giving charity, we actually come closer to Krishna. Because it is so important to give, right? Why? Because you have experienced certain pain, sufferings in your life, and you don't really want someone to experience the same. You want to relieve that person of the same pain, right? That's why you want to give. That is where the feeling of compassion is there. By giving, yes, just give it. Okay, let that person be happy. Let him not go through the same pain that I have gone through, right? So the first advantage of giving charity that is it gives you joy. The very first thing is that it gives you joy. There is a lot of happiness when you give, not by taking. You become happy. You become happy when you give, actually. It's very important. So, the very first advantage is you become joyful by giving. The second advantage is when you give charity, it takes away all the suffocation in our life. It breaks that mental barrier, that wall, right? Very important. And the third benefit of giving charity is it helps you become detached from material things. Slowly, when you give, slowly you will develop detachment from all these worldly things. You have seen those sellotape or that sticky tapes. You put it on a surface, you pull it out. Put it on a surface, pull it out. Put it on a surface, pull it out. So every time you put and pull it out, what's happening? The strength is reducing. The sticking capacity of that sellotape is actually reducing, right? So similarly, when you keep on giving, then our stickiness to this worldly thing will reduce automatically. It's very important. That's why we need to give. So that's the third benefit, that you develop detachment from material things. And the fourth benefit is we purify wealth. By giving charity, we purify the wealth that we have. Now, what is that, Prabhuji? What does mean? Purify wealth means what? See, when a person earns money, okay, somewhere there is some amount of deceit involved in that. Some level of lies is involved, or some sort of we have earned money more than what we deserve. Many a times, you go many companies when people are paying you big packages. It is just because you don't deserve, but still they give you sometimes. And especially in terms of business, in business it cannot happen without telling lies, right? So you get wealth, and then there is some amount of lies involved in that. There are some immoral acts involved in it. So when you give charity, it actually purifies the wealth. See, illegal ways of earning money, immoral ways of earning money, it destroys the person. When you start hoarding more and more money, especially which is earned through illegal means, it will destroy you in some other way. It will come in the form of disease, you will be hospitalized and you will be suffering. Oh my, or a person will meet some accident and money will be going to the doctors, and so many ways. All that money which is impure will bring you only trouble. So, very, very important. When we give charity, we are actually purifying the wealth that we have. Very important. Right? And it is true with the nation, it is true with the community, it is true with the family also. When, as a family, we earn wealth through some illegal ways, the family will suffer. If you have money hoarding something with illegal means, you have some wealth, the community will suffer. Even as a nation, if you have acquired something which is not yours, the nation will suffer. If you analyze World War One, World War Two, the prime reason for the World War One and World War Two is the looting from one country to another country, by one country to another country. People were looting, and that is why there was world wars. If you go analyze deep, many reasons can be given. Oh, because of this and that reason, but deep within, it is because some countries were exploiting other countries. This is how it is happening. So, by giving charity, charity is an efficient way. It's an efficient way of purifying our wealth. Very, very important. And wealth should be flowing all the time. Just like river, you see, there is a river, there is a lake. The water of the river is considered to be very pure. Why? Constantly it is flowing. But in a lake, what happens? The water is stagnant. And when there is stagnant water, it stinks after a while, right? So, similarly, wealth is supposed to be flowing constantly from one to another. It's the nature of wealth that it has to flow. When wealth is flowing, it is good for you. But when wealth is being hoarded, then it stinks. It gives you problem. Please understand. So money should keep on be rotating. Always. Wealth should be rotating. If it is stagnant, it gives you problem. Right? So when we have this attitude of gratitude, then we should give, because we are taking so many things from this world. There are so many things that we are supposed to give back to the world, because we're taking so many things, right? In the society cannot run without sacrifices. We cannot run without giving to each other. In fact, we will be surprised when we make a list of things that we are taking from the society, right? That's why this concept of Pancha Mahayagna, which we had discussed in the third chapter, Pancha Mahayagna, right? So we are indebted to the rishis, we are indebted to the devatas, we are indebted to the living entities, different living entities, we are indebted to the different human beings, we are indebted to the pitras, correct? So the rishis are giving us knowledge, so we are indebted to them. The devatas are giving us all these natural resources, we are indebted to them. The pitras, the qualities that we have gained is because of the pitras, so we are indebted to them. We take silk, we take honey, we take cow's milk, we are indebted to all these different living entities. There are so many services that we take from so many people, a tailor, a cobbler, maybe very small things, but then we are taking service from them. Correct? So the whole society is all about give and take transactions. So it should be always flowing. So this way, when we express our attitude, attitude of gratitude, then we will be very happy. So God has given us wonderful talents. Each one of us, we have a lot of talent in our own way in different things. So when God has given us so many different talents, we should use that in giving back to the world, right? And the best thing is, whenever you give something, it gets converted into punya. Now, this is another important thing that you should know. When you give charity, it is what is happening is it is getting converted to punya. Now, punya is a very special currency. It is a very different currency that not just works in this world, but it works in all the three worlds. That is the currency called punya, right? Now, and the best part of punya is this is a currency. Punya currency is so wonderful that it works even after your death. It has value even after your death, right? Our birth is not decided by us. Our beauty, our height, our intelligence is not decided by us. It is decided by our previous punya. Correct? We don't have no idea about all these things. Our birth is not decided by the dollar value, but it is decided by the punya value that you have. We cannot choose our body, we cannot choose our parents, we cannot choose the place that we are born in, we cannot choose what time I am born. None of these things are decided by the dollar value. It is decided by the punya value that you have. Correct? You need to have punya currency. And punya currency is gotten only by when you give something. Otherwise, a stingy person cannot do anything. There was a very nice rich fellow in this world. Okay. He was living a very aristocratic family, and suddenly one day, one angel came, and then angel took him into another world, different world. And then this angel invited him into a small hut, a very dilapidated hut. He was still, the angel called him and said, "Please, sir, please enter this hut. It's yours now." And this fellow got bewildered. Hey, don't you know that I was living in a big palatial bungalow? You're asking me to stay in this small, dilapidated hut? The angel said, "Sir, with all that you gave in that world, we could only build this small hut for you. So you have to stay here only." So it means that whatever you give is all recorded. So if you don't give, then in the next world also you are not going to get anything. We'll just get a small hut if at all we give. If we don't give, nothing. Correct? So we should know that by giving, we gain a lot of punya currency. It's very, very important. So, this is called a sattvic charity, and a person with sattvic nature gives he has the mood of giving. Datavyam, it must be done as matter of duty. It is my responsibility to give. So wonderful, no? When you have this kind of attitude that I want to give. Datavyam, anupakarine, and I want to give without receiving anything from that person. I don't want any reciprocation. He gives just to please God, not for rewards. This is a sattvic person. Anupakarine, I don't want any upakara back in return. There was that great saint Rahim, So Sant Rahim, they say, very great person. Whenever he used to give, he used to put his head down and give. He would not look at the person whom he is giving. When somebody asked him, "Why don't you look?" Because Rahim said, "I keep my head down because I feel ashamed. I think that, oh, I am giving." That person is thinking that I am giving, but I am not giving. It's everything that Lord's, and Lord is the owner of everything. I'm just handing over Lord's thing to him. What can I give? But this person is thinking that I am giving, but I'm ashamed. That's why I put my head down. See, this is the mood of charity that we should have. Right? So when we give charity, deshe kale patre, we should not simply give charity, we should inquire, and we have the full right to inquire about where our money is getting utilized, our wealth is getting utilized. We have full authority to ask, where is this wealth getting utilized? Very important. So while giving charity, we should give charity to the right person, to a Brahmana, to a Vaishnava, for Krishna consciousness, for Annadana, for Prasadam. So these things will really be very helpful. So such kind of charity is very, very important. Right? And while giving charity, a sattvic person never belittles the others. He will not undermine the person. In fact, he is grateful that a person is receiving my charity. This is the mood. Not that, oh, I am giving charity, take this. No, that is not the mood of a sattvic person. He is grateful. Oh, there is someone to receive my charity. If there is no one to receive, then to whom can I give? Correct? So somebody is ready to receive, and I'm giving whatever God has given me. So he's very grateful to the person who is receiving. This is the sattvic mode. Okay. So that is sattvic charity. Now let us understand the next one. Okay. So Divik, unmute yourself. Let's try to understand what is the next
Yes,
special.
Prabhuji.
What is that? Okay. In the next verse. Verse number 21. Yattu pratyupakaratham
यत्तु प्रत्युपकारत्तं
phalam uddishya va punaha
फलम् उद्दिश्य वा पुनः
diyate cha pariklishtam
दीयते च परिक्लिष्टम्
taddanam rajasam smritam.
तद्दानं राजसंस्कृतम्.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
Oh my God, look at this. Hare Krishna. Performed with the expectation. Pratyupakarartham. So you want to give, but you want because there is pratyupakara is what you are expecting. Phalam uddishyava punaha. Right? And diyate cha pariklishtam. You don't want to simply give, but with a grudging mode you want to give. That is charity in the mode of Rajoguna. So let us understand. Dhanam Rajasam Smritam. Correct? So see how a Rajasic person, she gives, but he has the expectation of reward. His intentions are impure. When he is giving charity, he wants something back. So his intentions are not very clear. So even when he gives, he wants publicity. He wants, oh, see, look, I'm giving, and people should click photos and that should come into the newspapers. He should be glorified publicly that I'm such a such person giving so much of wealth. I'm such a big philanthropist. Many people do this. They want their name and fame and everything. The same qualities. Rajoguna means whether they are doing yagna, dana, dapa. Anytime they are doing all of these Rajoguna, people will have that damba, darpa, that will be that they will display their damba and darpa. That is the nature of Rajoguna. I'm giving, and then people should click photo, it should come into the newspaper. He'll feel so satisfied by giving because his name is glorified. Rajoguna it is. Many times in this metro cities these days, there are people, old people, senior citizens. They have all their children abroad working, and so much they are earning money, and they are this Buddha Buddhi, both of them. They are staying in this metro city, no one to take care of them, right? In the old age. So what do they do? These old people, then they will keep one person from a nearby village. They will call that person. They will tell, okay, I'll make an arrangement for you in my small room, a garage, or whatever, some place I will give you. You bring your family, husband, you stay here and be here. Now it looks so nice. Oh, yeah, see, these old people are taking care of one family, right? And those people also eat there only, they work also there only. So these old people are so nice. They are taking care of this family. But what is the intention behind? The intention behind is we should be looked after because there is no one to look after us. There is someone to look after. Okay, that's why I want to keep you here. What is that expectation is there? That it's good thing, but there is an expectation that these people, this maid servant or whatever, they will do all my work and I will be comfortable. Expectation is there. So everything, it looks all very nice. So let them be here, right? This is the nature of people who are Rajasic. And I have told you before also how people in Rajoguna, they want to give something to the temple or something to any charitable institutions also, you will see many times even on the fans, they will write their name. And when the fan is rotating, they will not be able to see the names also. They'll write still on the fan blades the name donated by such as person. Sometimes on the tube light also they write. A tube light also they'll write the name. That light only will not come. Only the name will be visible. What is that? Use of giving such charity. People are so crazy. They want names everywhere. They want their name to be engraved. And we know such people will be there. That's why in temple also sometimes we tell, okay, you give such and such donation and we will engrave your name in the temple. Hall of devotional fame, we call it as. We call it as a hall of devotional fame. It's good. Why? Because they're giving it for Krishna. They may be having some idea about giving, but since they are giving it to Krishna, it will get purified. Although their intention may be Rajasic, but because they are giving it to the ultimate Supreme Person, then it will be still purified for them. Even if they have, that's why it's called Hall of Devotional Fame. It is a fame, but it's a devotional fame. It's a difference. So it cannot be considered Rajasic. They may have given with Rajasic intentions, but it will get purified when they give it to temple. And they have their names on the proper lane. They have a proper place to keep their names, not on the fan or a tube light. Okay. So Rajasic person, when he writes will also while dying, he will say, after my death, my wealth will go to such and such ashram. After my death. That means until my death, I want to enjoy. After my death, let everybody take it. So that means what? Rajasic, Rajoguna. I don't want to give. As long as I'm there, I don't want to give. But after my death, okay, we'll go, take it. It is good. Rajasic people, in one sense, good. At least that bhavana is there that, let me give. It's not like I'll keep it everything for myself. They have some mood of giving, but there is expectation of reward. Right? Pariklishtam. Sometimes they give with great hesitation. Ayyo, this person has come, I have to give now. As if somebody is asking for your life. When you ask them little money, they'll feel as if you're asking them life only. That way they will talk. Why? Because money is their life. When you ask money, then they'll feel as if their life is going out. Right? So he gives because a close friend is asking. Now, if I don't give, then the close friend will feel bad and my relationship with him may get disturbed. So I want to give. Let me give. He doesn't want to give, but he's a close friend. Okay, I'll give so that, in future, anyway, this fellow will give me back. He's my friend. So let me give now. So he may give sometimes out of fear also of the next world. Oh, if I don't give, then maybe I'll get papa in the next world. I may have to suffer. So let me give. That fear is there sometimes. So some people out of fear also, they will give charity. So I don't want to be in that terrible situation. Let me give something. Again, there's some expectation. I don't want to be in trouble. Right? That is also a nature. And some people, these Rajasi people, clear cut, some people are giving charity to some temple and the receipt is being torn. Oh, this person has given 1 lakh rupees. Oh, this person has given 2 lakh rupees. If I give only 5,100 rupees, it will be so bad. Oh, then I'll also have to give so much. No, so let me give. Comparison is there. So when they compare, while giving, so much comparison is there. She has given that much, she has given that much. I will have to, if I give very less, then there'll be a problem. It doesn't look good, so let me also give something equivalent. So a lot of comparison they do while giving charity. So this kind of thing goes on. So this is a Rajasic person. Okay. Now let's come to the next one, the Tamasic person. Okay, so Hina Mataji, unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse. Verse number 22. Adeshakale yaddanam
Adeshakale yaddanam
apatrebhyascha dhiyate
apatrebhyascha diyate
asatkritam avagnatam
asatkritam avajnanam jnatam
tattamasam udharatam.
tattamasam udaratam.
Please read the translation.
And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, to unworthy persons or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Now you see, this is exactly opposite of sattvic charity. Exactly opposite. आदेश काले च दानम apatrebhyascha diyate. A sattvic person gives charity in the right place to the right person at the right time. But a tamasic person, out of ignorance, he has no clue where he has to give, at what time he has to give, to whom he has to give. Nothing. And on top of that, asatkritam avagnatam. She gives it without proper attention. He does it with a lot of pain and hate in his heart. He doesn't want to give at all, but is forced sometime to give. This is the nature of tamasic charity. Everything is wrong because he has no will to give. The willingness is not there. And when he is giving, he will curse that person and then give to that person. You useless fellow, you have nothing, you come here for begging, take this and go. And that is how. Akala. And why such people do? Because they have a wrong notion. Tamasic behavior is there. There was a boy, and he was asked by his friend, "Hey, what did you give? What gift did you give to your 90-year-old grandmother?" So this boy said, "I gave her a football to play." He said, "What? 90-year-old and you gave a football?" "Yes, I gave football because when I was in my teens, she gave me Bhagavad Gita to read." So, you have to give charity as per the right thing, right person, at right time, right circumstances. Very important. We cannot simply, without proper attention, give charity to someone. No, it is not like that. A lazy person cannot give charity because he wants to be comfortable, and he is comfortable only when he has money, right? So he doesn't want to give out at all anything. But when he does it also, he does it out of delusion, a lot of confusion in his mind. He gives it like that. So that's why I said it is exactly opposite to the charity that is given in the sattvic mode, right? So we have seen in this world many times there are people who work very hard and they've earned so much money, right? Lot of money they earn. Why? Because they've really, worked so hard with a lot of efforts and pain. They build up a very nice business, and then they work so hard and so much. Everything is set up properly. This person who has worked hard and created a big empire, and the next generation, his son comes, he inherits the business and directly sits on the cashier chair. He doesn't really understand the pain involved, the value of building such a big empire. He directly sits there on a chair and enjoys the money, right? The son, he has no understanding of the pain that his father has gone through. And the next generation, the third generation after him, they will be totally spoiled brats. You know, people will be telling them, don't give money to this fellow, your son, he will do all nonsense. He's going and drinking, taking drugs, moving around from one place to another place and gambling, having so many girlfriends and so many things he's doing, all nonsense he's doing. Don't pamper him so much. People will tell him, but this fellow will feel that, oh, I need to be protective. He's my father, he's my son. How can I not take care of him? This is foolishness. So he gives some sort of charity to his son without understanding the nature of his son. He pampers him by giving him money. Why does he pamper him so much to his son? Because, oh, when I become old, this fellow should stay with me. He should not leave me and go. He should take care of me. See, such expectations are there. People have. They have the fear that, oh, my children may leave me and go and I will be alone. There will be no one to take care of me in this world. So let me pamper him now so that he will take care of me. See, this kind of mentality, he's totally confused. Basically, what? Delusion. This is called delusion. All wrong values, wrong thoughts, wrong perceptions. They don't have a clarity of thought. and then they give their money to all these attached people whom they are attached to, and it's a problem. You see, Dhritarashtra, what happened? So much of attachment that Putra Moha was there. Ultimately, what happened? Everything got destroyed, full of delusion. And this person in tamasic mode, he sees, he's very, very, very clear about what he's seeing. Actually, he's seeing black as white and white as black, but and he's convinced about it that no, this is black only, although it is white. He's very clear about it. This is tamoguna. A person in sattvic mode, he will see white as white and black as black. White and black clear to him. But this tamasic fellow, he will see black as white and is fully convinced that it is white only. This is tamasic mode. No clarity is there. And when he wants to give charity, he will insult that person. He will belittle that person so much, he will insult, he will tell nonsense to that person, that that person will really should have pain in his heart. But what to do is, out of helplessness, that person has to take something to maintain something, right? So he will take out of pain, but he will still take it, he will receive it. Okay, this person is scolding me so much, he is talking about all bad things about me, but still I cannot do anything without his money, so let me take his money. And this fellow is enjoying, not enjoying, out of hate he is giving, scolding this person. So this is charity in the mode of tamoguna. Hurting someone and then giving is not charity. Right? So Krishna has explained so beautifully about charity now. Correct? So Lakshmi Mata is asking, Prabhu, there is also time to give charity, is it? Many times, people give at the right time. For example, when there is a Surya Grahana, there is a Chandra Grahana. Grahana hai, when after the people come, right, to ask charity many times. So after the Grahana time, it is a good time to give charity actually. Sometimes on auspicious days, on festival days, we can give charity. It might be Janmashtami, Vaikuntha Ekadashi. When we give charity like that, on the auspicious days, it'll be very nice. Charity, giving charity. Right? We hear about Danashura. Who is Danashura?
Danveer, no Prabhuji, Karna.
Danaveer, yeah, Danashura or Danaveer. Karna. Karna is
Karna.
supposed to be an embodiment of charity, right? He would give charity every day. Every day he would give charity. And charity of gold. Okay. So people talk about him like that. Although there are many things that people don't know. Of course, it is not his wealth. He got the wealth from Jarasandha and he got the wealth from Duryodhana. So it was not his own wealth. He was giving somebody else's wealth. But still people call him. TK, it is getting purified. He was giving wealth and that wealth was getting purified. So the point here is, ultimately we need to know this concept of giving charity. Because, like I told you earlier, if we don't give charity, we will have psychological walls, boundaries within our mind, and that will suffocate us, and we will start cutting off ourselves from the external world and the people, and we will become lonely ultimately. So we need to understand these concepts very clearly so that we become free and we experience freedom. Otherwise, we will remain in that bondage. Correct? So this is the point. Any questions? Anybody has any questions? So Satvik, the nature of charity is actually impacting our psychology so much actually. So we should know these fundamentals. See, when people can understand these fundamentals of the Bhagavad Gita, how happy people can become, isn't it? Just by following these simple things, how much freedom one can experience, isn't it? So there is a lot of depth to all that Krishna is saying actually. So these inner aspects that we should know always. Good. Any questions? So there are many more things that we have to discuss in this chapter. Going forward, we will further discuss what Krishna is about to tell in the upcoming verses. So until then, please take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.